Hi, this is Nancy at A Crone's Intuition, and today I was chatting with some of my tarot tube friends, and we were talking about travel altars and just all different things, and it brought to mind when Hurricane Helene came to the mountains of western North Carolina with a vengeance. And this was on September 27th of last year. And it was catastrophic to the area. And I have a video. This is what a flash flood looks like, and I will put it in the description if you haven't seen it. Now, these were videos that I took early on. The water rose to 4 feet, and all of a sudden here was this water rescue team that came in from Raleigh and told me it was time to leave. And I wasn't prepared. I mean, that was the last thing in the world that I thought was going to happen. I mean, I knew the water was coming up, but I couldn't believe, that somebody would show up to evacuate. And my son, who lives next door. So it was a very hurry situation because they had many houses to go to. And they were at mine right now. And, I grabbed a few things and threw it in my purse. One of the things I made them wait for, I went and I got a couple of my decks. And the deck that was the most important to me was the Tarot of the Abyss that I took with me. And I even forgot my cell phone. But of my cell phone and the Tarot of the Abyss, I'm glad that I had my deck because it gave me great comfort. When I did a reading, in-depth reading, 2 of them. And the first reading, the first card was the Tower. The second reading, the first card was the Tower. But the first reading, showed distress and, that we had gone someplace and that I was safe. The second reading, with the Tower as the first card, all of the other cards were very, very positive. It indicated that we could go home. Well, my sons, got in their vehicle and came and looked to make sure. They wouldn't trust the reading, but the reading was correct. But anyhow, what I'm talking about is the reason I wanted to make this video is, what would you do if all of a sudden you were evacuated from your home? Like right now in my county here in western North Carolina, where my parents and I used to live, the community of Crusoe, there is a 120-acre wildfire raging. There's also in the Hendersonville area, there are wildfires. And, when this happens and they tell you that you have to be evacuated, you have to go. And so the reason that I'm making this is for you to think about this, that it's a distinct possibility with the weather the way it is right now, and the high winds, and, it just takes a spark, And what would you take? Now, what I would take now that I know what is possible, I would choose a few decks. Right now, I would take this deck again because it spoke to me. I would also take my Seeds of the Sacred Feminine, and I would take my Mother Mary Oracle. I might take another tarot deck. I really love the Earth Woman Tarot, so I might take this one. But in addition to that, I would take a little travel altar. Now the travel altar that I have is too big. You know, I mean, it can't be put in a backpack. And that's what I would advise everybody, to have a backpack. Ladies, have your makeup, some sleep clothing. If you have something that you have that's very nurturing, like I sleep with a little white bunny, I would be sure to throw that bunny in there, along with my decks, my makeup, some clothing, and I would take an inspirational book. Now, if you're a person of the Jewish or Christian faith, you would probably want to take a Bible, or an Old Testament or a New Testament, or a book on the Kabbalah, and I would tuck a few crystals in my bra. My crystals that are very important to me. I would take a mala, and maybe have like a little snack, like a dark chocolate bar or something like that. Things that remind you of home, that will give you peace. If you have a book, like I said, that means a lot to you, and that you could read it as you're sitting where you are. Now, I was fortunate enough to go to my son and daughter-in-law's log cabin, but some people ended up in shelters. And if you have some things that are from home, you can sit in a very small space and put it around you. You might not be able to burn incense in a shelter, but you could hold on to a crystal. Be able to center yourself. Maybe take a little bell to clear the energy around you. And that's what I would suggest, because we never know when something like this is going to happen. And I would be interested, what would you take? What would you take if all of a sudden somebody said, "This is what happened to me. Okay, sweetie, I was out on my front deck looking at the water. It's time to go." And they had ropes, and they put a vest on me and told me, "Now you hold on to my vest and do not let go, and I will not let go of you." And the man who helped me, we went through 4 feet of raging water to a boat that was like a whitewater rafting boat, and they took us to where the water wasn't, and then we had to make our way to a place where my son, and daughter-in-law could pick us up. So it happens quickly, and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to grab things, and I forgot my cell phone. So this is kind of a heads up. If it can happen to me, it can happen to you. Be prepared. And, I'll make this as a VR, and let me know what you would take in an emergency. What is important to you? And if you are watching this and you are not, of the tarot community, I would be very interested as to what you would take also, because my whole neighborhood was evacuated. Homes were destroyed. Houses floated away down the raging river. I mean, it was awful. So I pray that doesn't happen to you. But if it does, be prepared. This is Nancy at A Crone's Intuition, wishing you many, many blessings. Namaste, my precious friends.